Right, so today we're going to be talking about some TV shows that make me proud to be British. I personally just really think that British TV shows can hit that sweet spot that shows from other countries can't really do. Like for example with American shows, there's very few that I can actually rewatch, but with British TV shows, it's a breeze. Now being a Brit, I'm obviously a bit biased here, as you know, being British, my comedy style is more tuned to British TV. But anyway, less rambling and let's actually get into the list. The first show on my list is Peep Show. So this first show I want to talk about is actually the most popular. So the show follows Mark and Jez, who are two best friends that live together as they stumble their way through life. And the show is shot in a very unique way. Every single thing you watch is shot through the perspective of one of the characters. Hence the name Peep Show. We are literally peeping into the lives of these people. Now being shot from the perspective of the characters, we also get to hear their internal thoughts, which adds a layer of comedy that you really can't get with other shows. This gives us some great moments throughout the show, like one of my personal favourites being when Jez contemplates raping his best friend.
It'll be okay. It's not like I'm going to rape him. I could rape him. I'm not going to rape him.
It's very dark, but still hilarious. The show has a lot of these moments where it can get quite dark, but the thing is this show, it seems that the darker it gets, the funnier it gets. Now I don't want to spoil too much of the show, but what I will say as an example is that at one point, Jez kills a woman's dog, cooks it, and then eats it in front of her. Now obviously that sounds horrible, but it's not done with like sinister intent. But really it's just done because Jez is willing to go to extreme lengths to try and save himself from embarrassment. Because see what happened was he accidentally killed the dog, he then had to try and hide it, and the best course of action was to then cook it and eat it. And that's something that's just all throughout this show, not cooking and eating dogs. I mean, Mark and Jez really just don't want to be embarrassed. They're both really stubborn and they'll go to great lengths to keep up their outlook.
Just don't think about the dead dog. If I don't think about it, there's always a chance it didn't happen.
Then watching it go horribly wrong for them is always a real good treat to watch.
Mark? Am I sacked? Should I go?
You know, I can compare it to It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia in a lot of ways, where the main characters are pretty shitty people, but that's why we like watching them. So yeah, it's definitely one of my favourite British TV shows, and it's definitely up there with the best shows of all time. I actually think it's in the top 30 or so. Anyway, moving on to my next pick, The Inbetweeners. This show may not have as witty writing as Peep Show, but I think this is one of them shows where it's really best enjoyed with friends. The show is about four young lads as they navigate their way through school life, and you can really put yourselves in the shoes of these characters. I mean, obviously, if you grew up in an English school. This show is so popular in the UK that pretty much anyone that went to school here will tell you that this show is quoted all the time by loads of different students.
Bus wankers! You bumder!
Now a lot of those iconic quotes will just be insults that the boys throw at each other throughout the show, and that's one of the best things about this show, is the dynamic between the four characters and how authentic it feels. The chemistry between the main four characters is just unreal, and I could watch it endlessly, and the fact this show's only got 3 seasons of 6 episodes each, that's probably the worst part about this show. The show does also have 2 films to go alongside it though, and they're actually really good, which is rare when it comes to TV show movies. And I also want to say that my favourite role in this entire show has got to be Greg Davies playing Mr. Gilbert. He is just absolutely iconic. Seriously, he is one of the best parts about the entire show. So yeah, that's all I have to say for this show. Honestly, it would feel wrong not to include this in a video about British TV shows, as it just feels so British. Right, so you remember how earlier when I was talking about Peep Show, I said that the internal thoughts is one of the best things that I like about this show? Well, the closest I believe you can get to that is during mockumentaries when the characters do their... Fuck, what are they called? When the characters do their interviews. I don't know why I forgot that word. But yeah, my next pick is a perfect example of what a mockumentary should be. The show is called People Just Do Nothing, and the show follows a pirate station in London. And the people that run this station are very, very interesting people.
So be there, La Rose Italia, sunset.
Let's say 6 PM to be on the safe side, otherwise it might not be clear what time sunset is.
The show is kind of similar to Peep Show in the way that all the characters are really trying to prove something to each other and themselves. But what I like about this show is where the cameras are there, and obviously it's a mockumentary, so the characters are aware of the characters. Not only are they trying to prove it to everyone around them, they're trying to prove it to you. And they're just willing to go to great lengths to make themselves look as good as possible, to be the top man.
All the questions right wins.
What do we win? You win the title of best group.
Come here.
Right. So what
We've
we
got to
need
be the
do
best,
is
yeah?
everyone-
Listen, we can't let any of these other little dickheads win, alright?
And because of this, each character stands out. Like, honestly, all the characters just have standout moments in this show. It's hard to pick one that has way more than the others. But if I did have to pick one, it would actually be two. And those two will be Steve's and your buddy. But when you put them together, you get some unmatched comedy. They're both lovable idiots, and the most entertaining moments from this show will always be when they're on screen together. Right, so my next show is the RT Crowd. Now, I want to say, this show does have a laugh track, and they are very commonly hated nowadays. But for this show, it's not really a negative, because this show actually makes you laugh with them, so it doesn't feel like it's out of place.
I wonder if it's loaded. No.
Anyway, the show is about an IT department at the bottom of some business. No one really knows what they sell. But what I do want to say about the show is that it maintains its side characters probably better than any other show on this list. The side characters will take over any scene that they kind of come into. You know, with some of them being played by Noel Fielding and Matt Berry, it's hard for them to not steal the show. This is the kind of show where I can just rewatch it anytime, and any episode that I drop in on, when I see that little next episode bar coming up, and then I'll see what the title is, I'm staying up for another one. This show is just easily my favourite to rewatch, and out of any show that I watch, I will say that this show has gotten the most out loud laughs from me, not just so yeah, this show is absolutely a top tier British TV show. Right, now on to my final pick. So for my final pick, I wanted to pick a show that was a bit less comedic, but still sticking within that comedic theme of the video. The show is called Sick Note, and it's a mystery, drama, comedy, well, more of a black comedy than comedy. But this show is one of them ones where after each episode, you're going to be questioning yourself. Asking, how is there going to be more of this? Or, surely this has got to be it. It's just endlessly entertaining, and it always keeps you guessing, and the fact they added it to Netflix now makes it even more easy to binge. So, the show follows a man called Daniel, played by Rupert Grant, who I'm sure many of you will recognise. And in this show, he's playing a man called Daniel, who has a serious lying problem. Like, really bad to the point where it's ruining his relationship. And his girlfriend's even saying she might leave him. It's like he's almost addicted to lying or something. And one day he fakes an arm injury so that he can maybe get some time off work, but he has to go to a doctor to actually prove that the arm injury is real. Unluckily for Daniel though, he gets a doctor who's terrible at his job, played by Nick Frost. And the doctor accidentally diagnoses him with cancer. So Daniel goes on throughout the day thinking that he's got cancer and he's dying, and he notices that everyone around him treats him a lot different, and his girlfriend even considers staying with him now. But then he gets a call from his doctor. They have a meeting and he tells him he doesn't actually have cancer. This is obviously very bad for the doctor, as this could ruin his reputation. Because of this, the doctor then hands him a hush agreement, which obviously pisses Daniel off. He doesn't immediately tell everyone though that he doesn't have cancer. He still goes on through the day before telling anyone, and at the end of the night he asks his girlfriend if she would stay with him if he didn't actually have cancer. And I respect her honesty because she blatantly says, no, I don't think so. And then that settles it for Daniel. He's going to continue faking cancer. So that's what the show's really about. It's just these two men keeping up this lie, and it spirals way out of control. I don't want to spoil too much, but let's just say murders get involved, the KGB get involved, well, kind of. If you want to know what I mean, you're going to have to watch the show. But yeah, it's just a generally interesting mystery story, and it's actually really funny too, so it's something you should definitely check out. Anyway, that's all I have for you guys today. I hope you did enjoy. If you did, let me know, and maybe we can make a part 2.
Now get out.